I'm going to start this video with a little warning. I filmed this whole video coming up on this camera only, so I had no monitor, nothing to know. I do know it did some weird focusing things because I watched it back afterwards, but it was just a test just to see what it would do for a sit-down YouTube video. You have to sit it so far back that that's kind of a pain too. I could have put the wide conversion lens on probably, I just only thought of that now. But either way, it was for fun, just to see what it does. And I just spent the whole video talking about my film cameras just to give some subject to the video, but it wasn't bad. Like, really wasn't bad. I had to do it a second time because the first time I filmed it way too close up. And yeah, it struggled to focus on things when it was so close. So hopefully this is a little better, but just keep in mind, that's not how I would normally film my YouTube videos. It was just for fun and for a test. So here it is. So this is an unusual video. This is literally just to show you all what it looks like to film a sit-down YouTube video on the Fujifilm x100vi, which is what is filming me right now. Now that is a fixed 23mm f2 lens, so you have to kind of put it further away. I did a test video and it was way too close, so hopefully this is better, but I can see nothing. I have no monitor or anything to tell me what's going on, which I don't use anyway. Like, this is not the camera I would do my videos on, so I don't need one of those. But what I figured I would talk about is all of my favorite film cameras that I have that work. So you guys can just hear me talk, watch what it does, and kind of get a feel for how this films. So we'll start off with my probably favorite one because of its compactness, but also the photos it takes, is this Nikon Light Touch Zoom 150 ED. So it's a nice little camera. It does zoom, although I've almost never used the zoom on it. It has flash, it does do auto flash, and what's it called? Red eye. It has all those modes on here. It also has a self timer mode, so we used this on our family trip last year, and I set it up on a tripod and took a couple film photos, which was nice to be able to do it on a camera this small. And then I just added this to hold on to it. But I've liked this camera. It's been great. Yeah. Then next we have my Ektar half frame. This is the H35N. This was a Christmas gift from my husband. It's a little pink film camera, and to be fair, I have not been able to use it a ton. I have taken a ton of photos, but most of those were back around Christmas time, and I just haven't done much because there just hasn't been much to take photos of. The weather's been man. So I just thought it was really cool. It's super lightweight, which is really nice. That's the best part about it. But you do have to remember to turn the flash on yourself, which I don't always remember to do, because again, I'm not used to film. So I did shoot film for anybody who is going to make a comment. I am definitely old enough that I was around before digital cameras were a big thing. So I'll just leave it at that. I'm older than you think, but I definitely know film. But all my cameras were more automatic film cameras, not manual film cameras. So that's been more in the last 10 years that I've gotten some of those to test my photography skills and learn more. Now I have this, which I have not used one of these in so long. This is a Kodak FunSaver. And I bought it just to use on our family trip so that I can throw it in the beach bag and just take film photos whenever and not worry about it because it's just a little point shoot. This one does have a flash that you have to turn on if you need it, which I kind of forget, although it does have directions for that on the back. So this is just for fun. I've seen people use them lately and have really nice results, so I thought, what the heck, I'll give it a try. This is not a film camera, but it's interesting. It was given to me by Digifilm. It is essentially a digital camera that's supposed to mimic film. There's no screens, you can't see what you're taking, you just take the photos. And it does have like a number counter up here that'll tell you how many you've taken. There's a little memory card in here, it charges. You have filters you can put on, there's a flash. I don't love the startup sound. A little obnoxious. There is a little shutter button, obviously. And then off sound is also a little obnoxious. It's fine. It is what it is. It's not expensive, and I got this for free, so it was just for me to test out. But if you're looking for something super lightweight, this weighs literally nothing, that you can carry around as like a vintage looking camera, it still gets nice photos. It's just they almost look still a little too digitized for me, personally. Now onto my big cameras. The first one I ever got was this Canon AE1. This is not the program, just the AE1, and I bought it about 10, 11 years ago off eBay. When I wanted to get more into photography, that was when I bought my first Olympus camera. So I got this, it came with everything. Like it came with the whole body case, a flash with a case, filters, everything. So someone had really taken care of this and I was very pleased. Back then I paid about $200 for it, but I got all the accessories and everything with it. And all the manuals, which are crazy to look at because they have like these little like 60s or something looking cartoons in them. They're so cute. It came with this 50 1.8 millimeter lens, which is really nice. I think if it had been the program, I might have gotten the hang of it a little quicker. It sometimes is still a little confusing for me. I had to figure out how to change the battery that goes in here because it was dead. I do use it. It's still good. I really like it. It is very heavy. I like how it looks though. It definitely has that vintage camera look, obviously. But my new favorite has actually been a flea market find or antique mall find, which was this Minolta x700, which came with the lens here, which is a 50 1.7. in the boxes and everything, in amazing condition, and it's a little bit more automated than the Canon AE1. That's why I think the program would have been maybe a better fit for me. I have not used it in a while, but I did take this to Disney World, which I've shown you guys some of the photos. I'm really happy with how they turned out. I messed up the second roll. That was my fault that I loaded it incorrectly. So I made sure this time the film is loaded correctly because I am going to take this on our vacation too so that I can get more shots on this and just test my photography skills. I will have my Fujifilm cameras, but film is a whole different experience and it's just fun. So I'm taking this with me. And this I think actually weighs a little bit less than the Canon. So those are my film cameras. Now you got to see what the x100 can do as far as video. Hopefully this is not as zoomed in as the last video I made, but yeah, so hope you enjoyed.